Strive Coaching Studio, guiding business leaders to meet the highest version of themselves. And now, here's Michelle, certified coach and founder of Strive Coaching Studio.
Hello, everyone. Wow, I have had a super productive day. Obviously, anytime you have a productive day, it usually means it's because you have done a whole lot of work to build up to that point. And today I recorded a very long class. I finalized one of the fantastic workbooks that I put together that is a step-by-step program. I have worked on several other curriculums and programs that we're putting into place right now here at the studio. And it has just been a super productive day. And I think you probably know when you feel like that and you know you have been productive and created lots of great things that have been on the list for a long time, by the way, that it just feels incredible. So I am opening up this podcast with such great energy coming in here. And I'm really glad that I timed it so perfectly, because the topic that I'm going to talk about today is about selling, and I love sales. Anybody who knows me really well knows that I have been selling and in the training of salespeople, lifestyle and development world for many, 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 many years, and I love it. I just love it. I enjoy it every day, and I really just enjoy salespeople. I love to be around big groups of salespeople and small groups of salespeople. They're amazing. They're wonderful people. I enjoy them tremendously. And most people think that great salespeople have what they call the gift of gab. We many times really admire those people who are really good at speaking and storytelling and being in front of people and putting themselves out there. And that's why they're so enjoyable to be around and hang out with. They're just fun, lively, and full of personality. But I've been training and developing salespeople for many, many, many years, as I've mentioned, and I've known so many different personality types, and I know it's going to surprise you. Some of the best salespeople that I've ever known have actually been fairly introverted. And I know that's super hard to believe, but once I really expand on this more, you'll understand what I mean. And the reason I'm even saying this and sharing with you is because this is how important I think selling is. I truly believe anybody can be a great salesperson, no matter what your personality. Once I break it down into the steps, anyone can be. So as I tell you more, I want to tell you that also I've been in sales and in the sales world. And when I say that, I mean everything I've ever done, I've looked at myself as the salesperson, no matter what my position was in my company. But I've literally been doing it since I was 16, probably before that. But from my first job on, I have considered myself in sales. And I'm very proud of that, because as I explained to you what it takes to be a great salesperson, I think people who are great salespeople are great at so many things in life. And so if you can learn the skills of being a salesperson, you can take that and use that anywhere that you go, in your world, in your relationships, anywhere. So like anything else, when I'm training or coaching anyone, I love when I watch the light bulb go off and their minds click, and it's magical. When I say things, when I'm training something, and you can just tell that somebody really gets it and they see how they can use it in their lives and how it's such a huge benefit for them, it's a beautiful thing. So in my experience, my expert experience, and I truly believe that I am an expert in this field, there are a few qualities of really great salespeople. And to me, and in my opinion, and it's I believe a very experienced opinion, the number one most important factor is that they are great listeners. And listen, I know how much you've heard me talk about listening, but I'm telling you, when it comes to selling, it is the most important factor that you can have. So when you think about how much time you spent talking and how much time you spend listening, a rule of thumb as a salesperson and in the training that we've always done is that you should be talking 30% of the time and listening 70% of the time. So you've probably heard the old saying of you have two ears and one mouth, use them accordingly, proportionally. That's the rule of thumb. You should never be talking more than your clients. You should be talking enough to get them to talk more, to get them to talk twice as much as you do. Number two is that they ask really great questions. They know how to get others talking about topics they want them to talk about, themselves, their lives, their needs and wants, what makes them happy, what they don't like, what bothers them, what gets under their skin, what things they enjoy. This is so critically important because the better they can ask questions and the more they can get them talking, the more information they get to better serve them, especially when they're actually listening. That's, again, the key. Number three is they understand how to build a relationship and trust with others. So all of that talking and listening includes them sharing too, finding things that create common ground between them, showing them that we are two humans in the same room together right now, talking about a topic that we're both interested in, and we are going to find anything that creates a common interest and connects us to each other. That could be people, it could be sports, it could be weather, it could be places where you've lived before, it could be the kind of cars that you drive, it could be somewhere you went to school. It doesn't even matter. The more you talk, the more you ask questions, the more you get to know people, the more you can connect with them and find ways to connect with them. And that is a beautiful thing that creates a relationship and it creates trust. Number four is they know that their offers will be rejected more often than not. They don't take it personally. They know they're not going to get every sale. And they're okay with that. They're okay with the answer no. They're okay with understanding that what they have to offer isn't for everybody. They don't look at it as a rejection on them personally. They look at it as this product or service has not been shown to them in a way that creates a value or a result that this particular buyer is looking to achieve right now. Or I haven't yet found out enough information about this client in order to show them how what I have will serve them. But they don't take it personally, so they're not afraid. They understand that the ratio, and it's a numbers game, will be against them most of the time, but it doesn't make them stop from asking. They know how to offer what their clients want based on exactly what they heard them tell them because they were listening. So based on just these four qualities, being a good listener, asking good questions, understanding how to build relationship and trust by connection, and not being afraid to ask and offer are the four qualities that can make anybody a great salesperson. It's as simple as that. Listen, ask great questions, become friends and build a relationship, and be willing to hear no. So anybody who wants to learn how to sell doesn't need to be intimidated by it. Anyone can learn to sell. If you want to learn to sell, I can absolutely teach you. You literally only have to follow 4 simple steps. And you'll already be far ahead of most people generally, but probably most salespeople. The reason this is so very important is because if you are a business owner or a leader in business, the more people you have selling your business, the better for you. So first of all, I'm going to point this out to you. If you're a business owner or a leader in your business, you are in sales, which is why when I tell you that even as the founder of my company, the CEO of my company, and I have multiple companies, by the way, but even as whatever position it is that I hold within my company, and no matter how many people I have working for me, and at this stage, I would tell you that the time being that I'm referring to, I actually had 15 salespeople and a large sales and marketing department. And I still considered myself in sales. And the reason I need to look at myself that way is because I'm always a representation of my company. I'm always selling my product. I'm always talking about my product, and I'm always listening to other people and their needs and understanding what they want so that I can properly show them how what I have will solve what they're looking for. And in my case, I actually used a lot of that feedback to develop my future opportunities and my future product to be able to sell, or my future service to be able to sell to them by listening. I could do a better job of running my business that way when I look at myself as being in sales. My firm philosophy is that every single person in your organization is in the sales department. Every single person, no matter what they are, if they answer the phone, if they greet delivery people or work in AP, run the operations, purchasing department, whatever department they're in the sales department. If everybody understands that everyone's responsibility is to wear a sales hat, you just created more salespeople, an entire sales force. So everybody you have is a representation of your company. So it's just a matter of whether they're a good one or a bad one. Everybody does have an interest in the success of what the company does, and they need to be trained in being able to talk about that. They need to understand what your product and service is, at least on a very shallow level. And when you have well-educated, even simplistically well-educated positions and people throughout your company who understand it, the more excited and confident they are to talk about it. So you have no idea how much of the following from a marketing perspective and sales you get from the most unexpected places and people. If your UPS delivery person has a great relationship with your office manager, and they or their family member is looking for something that your company offers, you have a sale thanks to your great office manager because they knew how to sell. And it can go the other way too. So that when the person in the company who sets up new vendors is communicating with an insurance company to get their proof of insurance or some liability documents or paperwork put together, and the insurance processing agent is in the market to buy your product, why wouldn't they ask them about it? Why wouldn't they want to, if they have a good experience with your vendor setup person, to communicate further about what they want? When your back office administrative person is setting up phone service at the local Verizon store and the rep there says that he and his wife are in the market for what you offer, how awesome is it when your admin can excitedly talk about what you do and have information about it to at least maintain the momentum toward the sale? So when you and your company have the attitude that everybody's a customer, it changes everything. Everyone could be buying your product or service tomorrow. Changes your whole perspective. When you teach them the basics, and if you've made great quality hires in your people for what they do in your organization, and if they love where they work, they'll be proud to know that they're a representation of you wherever they go and with everyone they meet, even the quiet people, even the introverts. Because guess what? They might not be the ones who usually talk as much with others. Maybe they don't even have a position where they're typically talking with others at all. But I can guarantee you that there's probably some social media activity going on. And if they can talk about their company there or advertise the fact that they even work for your company, the marketing that comes back is huge, which is also why it's so important that everybody understand this, because when they know that they are a representation of your brand, they're going to be more thoughtful and conscious about what kinds of things they post on their social media accounts and how they approach different people. And if they're wearing the shirt that's branded with your company name, they need to understand they're a representative and they're a salesperson for your company in that moment. Everyone can do it, especially the quiet ones. And I can't tell you the value that you get by continually training your team and your sales staff to become better salespeople for you and create a sales force to be reckoned with. And I'm going to guarantee you that your competitors in your market and in your industry are not doing that. You can have a huge advantage. So listen, we have this and we have many other fantastic classes going on every single month at Strive Coaching Studio. I think I mentioned, super excited about all the new things that we have coming out and that we're creating right now. And we can't wait for you to join us so that you can see us there and see all the things we've done that are going to make such an impact in your day, in your week, in your year, and in all of your goals for your future ahead. All right, I look forward to seeing you there, and I will talk to you next time.
Check out our show notes in the podcast section on strivecoachingstudio.com to read these valuable tips and thank you for listening.